your coffee, you crack your knuckles, you are just ready to conquer the world.
Oh, yeah. The perfect setup.
Right. But then you decide you just need to check one little thing, and suddenly you have 15 browser tabs open. You are checking your phone for absolutely no reason.
Just scrolling into the void?
Exactly. You are replying to some completely useless email about a meeting that doesn't even matter. An hour goes by, you feel completely exhausted, like insanely busy, but you haven't actually done any real work.
It is, honestly, the defining problem of the modern knowledge worker.
It really is. So grab a warm cup of chai, get comfortable, because today on the Deep Dive, we are dismantling Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. Our mission is to figure out the hidden cognitive tax of this exact scenario.
Yeah, and why the modern office is practically designed to, well, destroy your peak earning potential.
Which is terrifying, and we have the absolute perfect guide here to help us make sense of all this. So let's just jump right in. What is the core issue here?
Well, it comes down to a tension between two things, deep work and shallow work. And look, I know you guys listening already know that leaving notifications on is a terrible idea, so let's skip the basic stuff.
Yeah, we know the phone is bad.
Right. So deep work isn't just like working hard. It is about pushing your brain to its absolute limit, its unbroken, intense concentration.
Like zero distractions.
Zero. Because that's the only way you create new value and actually improve your skills. It's the kind of effort that an algorithm or, a high school kid with an internet connection can't easily replicate.
Right, it's the rare stuff. And the book mentions Carl Jung, right, the famous psychiatrist.
Oh, this is my favorite example. When he needed to synthesize his complex theories, he didn't just turn his chair to the wall.
Or put on noise-canceling headphones.
No. He built a literal stone tower in the woods in Switzerland.
The stone tower.
A stone tower, just to escape people and think deeply. He realized he needed a massive physical barrier to all the shallow obligations of life.
I mean, I usually just hide in the bathroom to get some peace and quiet, but I guess the stone tower works too.
Hey, whatever works. But that highlights the opposite, which is shallow work.
Right. The stuff we do all day.
Yeah, the logistical, easy stuff you do while you're partially distracted.
I always think of it as the mental equivalent of eating junk food.
That is a perfect way to put it.
Because, your brain actually prefers shallow work. It's metabolically cheap. Thinking deeply burns a ton of glucose.
It's exhausting.
It is. And the human brain is a survival machine. It wants to conserve energy. So, of course, it wants you to just reply thoughts to an email instead of actually writing a hard strategic report.
Oh, I hate the thoughts. Email.
It's the worst. But it feels like you're doing something. It's just empty calories, though.
It is empty calories. And we gravitate toward it because you get that immediate completion, right? A tiny hit of dopamine.
Oh, I sent an email. I'm productive.
Exactly. But the danger is that this shallow work doesn't add any real value to the world. And even worse, doing it constantly actually permanently reduces your brain's capacity to do deep work.
Wait, permanently?
Well, your brain physically adapts to whatever you ask it to do most often. If you train it to be distracted, it gets really good at being distracted.
Okay, wait, seriously. This is the contradiction that always bothers me. If shallow work is junk food and deep work is the healthy meal that brings actual value, why do our jobs practically force us to do the shallow stuff?
I know it makes no sense.
Right, like open plan offices, instant messaging, expecting us to reply to an email in 5 minutes. It feels like jobs are designed to stop us from working.
It's a huge paradox. But the book explains this through a really fascinating historical shift. It's a concept called the metric black hole.
The metric black hole. Okay, explain that.
So think back to the factory days.
Yeah.
Industrial Revolution. It was incredibly easy to measure a worker's output.
Right, you just count the boxes.
Exactly. You made 100 widgets, boom, you are highly productive. But today, we are knowledge workers.
Right, and you can't put a stopwatch on a good idea.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
The cognitive effort is completely invisible. There's a massive lag time between, say, thinking up a brilliant marketing strategy and actually seeing the money from it.
Oh, I see.
So, because it is so hard to measure knowledge work, corporate culture just falls back on something they can see.
Which is busyness.
Exactly. Busyness as a proxy for productivity. Your boss can't look inside your brain, so they look at your visible behavior.
Oh my gosh, the visible busyness theater. We all do that.
It's rampant.
It's like that guy in the office who just walks really fast down the hallway holding a clipboard looking stressed.
Yes. Or, in the remote work era, it's making sure that little status circle on your Slack profile stays green.
Oh, absolutely. Sending a work email at 11:00 p.m. just so your boss knows you're awake. I have literally heard of people tying a string to an oscillating fan.
Wait,
Yes. And attaching it to their computer mouse so the screen doesn't go to sleep, so their boss thinks they are active. We are literally pretending to work.
just substituting actual deep thought with frantic keyboard tapping.
It's insane.
It's a tragic waste of human potential. But, and this is key, it is also a massive opportunity for you listening right now.
How so?
Because everyone else is stuck in this trap of shallow busyness, which means the actual ability to do deep work is becoming incredibly rare.
Ah, and rare things are valuable.
Exactly. In any economy, when a skill becomes rare, it gets disproportionately rewarded. If you can focus without distraction, you literally develop a superpower.
Okay, that reminds me of the story in the book about Jason Ben. I loved this part.
Oh, Jason's story is incredible.
Yeah, so he was stuck in this totally typical, shallow knowledge work job in finance.
Making spreadsheets all day.
Right, mostly just moving data around, acting like a human router.
And he realized his job was entirely shallow. And because of that, he could easily be replaced by software.
So he made this radical choice. He quit his job to learn computer programming. But the crazy part is how he did it.
Yeah, tell him how he did it.
He locked himself in a room with 0 computers. Just textbooks, note cards, and a highlighter.
Which sounds completely backwards.
Right. Learning to code without a computer is like learning to swim without water. But his logic was actually brilliant.
It really was.
He knew the computer was just too distracting. His brain would just default to checking websites or looking at his phone.
He had to train his brain to tolerate the immense friction of deep learning.
Without any escape hatch.
Right. He practiced focusing for hours, completely disconnected. And it was painful at first, like using a muscle that had totally withered away.
But it worked, right.
It worked amazingly well. Because he cultivated this superpower, he learned coding incredibly fast.
Yeah.
He went to a super difficult boot camp, became a top student, and in just months, he landed a job making more than double his old salary.
Wow. More than double.
Yeah, because he didn't just learn a skill. He learned how to focus deeply enough to acquire any hard skill.
Okay, so if the blueprint for success is that clear, what is stopping us? Like, why don't we all just do that?
Well, the obstacle is our tools, specifically our phones, and a neurological thing the book calls attention residue.
Attention residue. Okay, that actually makes sense. I like to think of this using a computer RAM metaphor.
Oh, go for it.
So imagine you're trying to play a really demanding, fast-paced video game on your laptop, but you leave this massive video editing program rendering in the background.
Your computer's going to crash.
Exactly. It's going to lag and stutter because the background program is eating up all the processing power. That is our brain on task switching.
That is a perfect metaphor. It aligns perfectly with the research of Sophie Leroy. She studies this exact cognitive bottleneck.
Right.
When you switch from task A to task B, your attention doesn't immediately follow you. A literal residue of your attention gets stuck thinking about the original task.
So if I'm trying to have a deep conversation with a friend, but someone keeps tapping me on the shoulder every 5 seconds.
You can't think.
Right. Which means checking your inbox every 10 minutes while trying to write a complex proposal is just cognitive suicide.
It really is.
Even if you don't reply. Just glancing at a message from your boss introduces a new, unresolved loop. Your brain is now buffering that unread email.
Yep. Leaving you with only a fraction of your actual intelligence for the proposal.
You are literally making yourself temporarily less intelligent by keeping your email open.
Which is why the standard advice to just turn off notifications isn't enough.
It's not.
No, because the problem is how we evaluate these networking tools in the first place. Social media, news sites, all of it. Most people use what the book calls the any benefit approach.
Meaning, if it has any benefit at all, we keep it.
Exactly. They justify keeping an app if it gives them any conceivable benefit whatsoever.
Oh, I hear this all the time. Like, oh, I have to stay on this incredibly toxic social media platform because I might see an interesting article, or I need it to see what my cousin's dog had for breakfast, or what it wore for Halloween.
Exactly. We justify it for a 1% benefit, but we completely ignore the fact that it just stole 3 hours of our day.
Right, the massive cognitive drain.
So instead of that, we should use the craftsman approach.
Okay, what's that?
Think of a master carpenter. A carpenter doesn't use the flimsy, broken plastic hammer just because it might occasionally drive a nail.
No, they'd throw it away.
Right. A skilled craftsman only uses a tool if the big benefits totally outweigh the negatives.
Yeah.
We need to be ruthless craftsmen with our digital tools.
This connects directly to the 80-20 rule, doesn't it?
It does. Explain that for the listeners.
So, in almost any area of life, 80% of your success and happiness comes from just 20% of your activities.
Right.
And if your goal is to have a successful career or just a peaceful life, scrolling a news feed for 3 hours is definitely not in that top 20%.
Definitely not.
We are trading high-value deep time for low-value shallow time, all because we won't admit the actual costs of our tools.
We won't. But here's the most uncomfortable truth in the entire book.
Uh-oh. Lay it on me.
Simply removing the distractions is not enough. You actually have to teach your brain how to be bored again.
Oh, wow. I am so glad we are talking about this because the standard advice right now is like the digital detox.
No, the digital detox.
Right. People think, oh, my attention span is broken, so I'll just go to a cabin in the woods for the weekend without my phone. I'll look at some trees and I'll be cured.
Yeah, that is a complete fallacy.
Wait, really? Can't I just take a detox and be cured?
No, because it totally misunderstands neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
The book says you don't need to take breaks from distraction. You need to take breaks from focus.
Break from focus. Okay, explain that.
Right now, modern humans have this deeply ingrained Pavlovian response to boredom. The exact second we feel a hint of mental downtime,
Like waiting for an elevator.
or sitting at a red light,
Yeah.
our brain sends an urgent chemical signal to pull out the phone. The phone has literally hijacked the neural pathway for boredom.
Oh, so going to a cabin for a weekend doesn't fix the pathway. It just temporarily removes the trigger.
Exactly. As soon as you get back to the office and your work gets even slightly difficult or boring, your brain panics and demands the phone again. The wiring hasn't changed.
Okay, so how do we change the wiring?
You have to schedule your internet use in advance.
Just schedule it.
Yes, you decide ahead of time when you are allowed to use the internet and when you are not. And outside of those approved blocks, you have to maintain absolute abstinence, no matter how strong the craving gets.
Wait, so if I'm waiting in a long line at the grocery store and my next scheduled internet block isn't for an hour, I can't look at my phone.
Nope.
What do I do? Just stare at the chewing gum?
Yes. You stare at the chewing gum.
That sounds agonizing.
It does, but standing in line and forcing yourself to endure that discomfort is the equivalent of doing mental push-ups.
Mental push-ups.
Yeah.
Huh.
You are actively weakening that Pavlovian link
Mm.
between boredom and digital stimulation. You are training your brain's concentration muscles to tolerate friction.
Okay, that makes sense. Because if I can't tolerate 3 minutes of boredom in a grocery store, I have zero chance of tolerating the friction needed to write a complicated report.
Exactly.
That really reframes boredom. It isn't just a lack of stimulation, it's a resistance workout for your attention span.
Precisely. And if you want a more intense workout, the book suggests something called Roosevelt dashes.
Like Theodore Roosevelt.
Yep. He was famous for his intense study habits in college. Basically, you identify a deep task, and you give yourself an artificially short, incredibly hard deadline to finish it.
Oh, like forcing a sprint.
Exactly. By creating a severe deadline, you force your brain's prefrontal cortex into overdrive. The urgency requires so much cognitive engagement that it completely bypasses your desire to procrastinate.
Because there's literally no mental bandwidth left over for distraction.
Right. It teaches your brain what true deep concentration actually feels like.
Okay, but even if I build this tolerance for boredom and I do these intense sprints, I still have like 8 hours of unstructured office time staring at me every day. How do I stop that time from just defaulting back to shallow busyness?
Well, that is where Newport introduces probably his most controversial tactic: zero-based scheduling.
Scheduling every single minute of your day.
Yep, every minute. And it gets a lot of pushback. People hear that and they immediately rebel. They say it sounds robotic and exhausting, and where is the freedom?
Honestly, I kind of agree. It sounds super robotic. Where's the freedom?
Well, think about it. Unstructured time isn't actually freedom, it's a vacuum.
Oh.
And in a modern office, that vacuum is instantly filled by the path of least resistance, which is always checking email, or a colleague dropping by to chat, or doing shallow administrative tasks.
If you don't tell your time where to go, your environment will steal it from you.
Exactly. A schedule actually gives you freedom because you are making intentional choices. You are in control. And the beauty of time blocking is flexibility. If a brilliant idea strikes or an emergency happens, you just erase the rest of the day and write a new schedule.
Oh, so it's not set in stone. You're just always the director of your attention.
Exactly. Rather than letting the loudest notification dictate your day.
I love that. And that intentionality extends to the end of the day too, right? With the shutdown ritual.
Oh, this is crucial. The book insists on a strict, complete shutdown at the end of the workday. Once you are done, you are completely done.
So no checking emails on the couch after dinner?
No checking emails, no quick replies from bed.
But why is it so strict?
Because of a psychological concept called the Zeigarnik effect.
The what?
Zeigarnik effect.
Yeah.
It basically means that unfinished tasks will constantly intrude on your conscious thoughts.
Oh, like when a song gets stuck in your head because you only heard the chorus?
Exactly. If you leave work without a clear plan for what is pending, your brain keeps those loops open all night.
Just burning energy.
Right. A specific shutdown ritual where you review your tasks, make a plan for the next day, and explicitly say, I am done, it closes those loops.
Yeah.
It signals to your brain that it is safe to relax.
And your brain literally requires that relaxation to function the next day. There's this incredible study in the book about attention restoration theory that blew my mind.
Oh, the Nature Walk study.
Yes. So they took two groups of people and gave them a really difficult cognitive task. Then one group walked through a quiet, natural park, while the other group walked through a busy, bustling city street.
And the results are wild.
When they came back and tested them again, the nature group performed 20% better. 20%.
The science behind that is beautiful. The city street demands what is called directed attention. You have to monitor traffic, avoid people, look at flashing signs. It drains your mental battery.
But then Nature Walk doesn't do that.
No, it provides soft fascination. Looking at trees doesn't require hard focus. It gently occupies the mind while your attention centers physically recharge.
Which means, if you're sitting on your couch at 9:00 p.m., rapidly scrolling through a chaotic social media feed or checking stressful work emails,
You are mentally walking through a busy city street.
wow, you are preventing your brain from experiencing the rest it needs. You are literally robbing tomorrow's intelligence to pay for tonight's anxiety.
It is a terrible trade-off. To operate at a peak level, your brain requires absolute downtime. Trying to squeeze in a few late-night emails just ruins your focus for the next day.
Okay, we have covered a massive amount of ground today. Deep work really is the ultimate 21st century superpower.
Without a doubt.
By recognizing the trap of shallow busyness, by ruthlessly judging our tools like a craftsman, and by training our brains to be okay with boredom, we can actually get amazing things done.
It's a complete framework for taking back your mind.
So for everyone listening, here is one very simple, practical thing you can try today. The next time you're waiting in line or sitting on the bus or waiting for a Zoom meeting to start, do not pull out your phone.
Just leave it in your pocket.
Leave it in your pocket. Just sit there. Look around at the environment. Let your brain be totally bored. Consider it your first mental push-up of the day.
That is a fantastic starting point.
Right.
And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought that kind of builds on everything we've discussed.
Oh, go for it.
This shifts the perspective from just productivity to the actual quality of your life. There's a strong scientific link between focused attention and true happiness.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi proved that humans are happiest when they are in a state of flow, when they are completely immersed in a challenging, deep task.
Oh, that makes so much sense. When you're fragmented and constantly distracted by shallow things, you just feel anxious.
Precisely. Your world is the outcome of what you pay attention to. If you spend your whole day focused on shallow, stressful emails and distracting websites, your brain will build a stressful, shallow world.
But if you focus deeply on things that matter,
Your life will feel meaningful and rich. The ultimate promise of deep work isn't just that you'll make more money. It's that a life lived deeply is simply a better life. So what kind of world is your current attention diet building for you?
man, that is something to sit with. So next time you sit down at your computer and you see those 15 browser tabs staring back at you, ask yourself, is this the world I want to build today? Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We will catch you next time.